Welcome back to Threshold of Revelation, or session 24, Swordbreak. The group split the party last session as they entered into the town, going different locations, checking stuff out, investigating the town of Swordbreak, and using this as a... what is happening? Oh, that was a lot, Andy.
You didn't answer my question, dude.
That's fair.
Yeah, sabotage this thing.
So, to be fair, you wouldn't know. We can go to the core or the base map. You can investigate yourself and decide. In the city of Swordbreak, the group has split up, each going a different route. The Goliath kind of disappeared into the more impoverished-looking district of the town. The Bard went to... Sorry, my notes are here, but absolutely legible. Antique Rest Tea and Tap Room. I believe the others went to the impoverished side of town as well, but to different sections therein. Rolling Rock went to Big Bang's general store. And Ezekiel went to the armorer. And what was the blacksmith you were heading to?
Yeah, it was the blacksmith, but they said they were both like in the same building. So.
Well, not the same building, but like kind of right next to each other.
Yeah, pretty close.
15. And then, Silas went to go to the promenade, which is the large kind of gathering place in the town of Swordbreak. Okay, so all of that out of the way, we'll just go ahead and take a volunteer for who wants to go first. I do know that Ezekiel, Buddy was going to the...
I can't remember the name of it, but the alchemist's
supply
shop.
It's the apothecary.
Apothecary
is the one that you're not going to. You're actually going to the...
Big Bang.
No, not Big Bang. No. The pot and planter, which is the...
That's it.
Kind of herb...
Ingredients.
Vegetable matter haver. Okay, cool. So, whoever wants to be first in the adventure here, order is not really important. So, just say you want to go and I'll tell you where you're at.
I am meandering about the poorest district and letting the world encounter me more than I am encountering it.
Okay.
Get a load of this guy.
So what you'll note is that even though it does look like it, from a distance, looks a bit more worked and like old and broken up, it does seem that it's more populated than a lot of the other spaces you pass by to get here. It also looks like it's heavily functional. Like people are still utilizing the space. There are a lot of smaller boats inside of the docks that are kind of to your left as you're making your way along the waterfront. And you can see that the buildings all seem to have some sort of function to them. Like there's work going on in each. There does appear to be a very ornate-looking series of arched bridges that kind of connect a number of rocks just near you. Hold on. I'm moving us back to the map, by the way.
Yeah.
Hopefully that was satisfactory, Andy.
It was, thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Sunken Pyramid is the closest down.
Go back to the sword.
Arched bridges.
I get to be mayor.
And it does look like there's some sort of building, very not of the same kind of construction. It looks very nice. It looks almost country house-y. Like it looks like a country kind of like club out on an island. It's the best way I can describe it. But the people passing you by are mainly dwarf, gnome, and human. There are a couple of other, random examples of other representations of races or species in the area, and you kind of move past, with no concern, or you can interject with them. None of them are really trying to engage with you. Mostly they're just trying to avoid you because you're kind of in the way for most of these kind of pass-bys.
I would slip out of the way.
Oh,
I'm
for
not
sure.
trying to hinder anybody.
For sure. Even so, it's like they don't. It doesn't seem they expect a person to just be meandering about.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I'm gonna go fuck about on the little wooden island over there.
Okay, cool. So when you get to like this part here, you'll see that there's a sign, kind of just underneath the small little palm tree, that has a couple of different arrows pointed in different directions.
Not the knife house. I'm above that. The wooden.
You're going here.
No, up.
Oh.
That place looks too fancy. That's not for me.
Okay, got you. Sorry, when you said that was the only one I explained in my thing, but
Sorry, the wooden island. I didn't see that one. My map wasn't zoomed. To
gotcha.
show that.
So then you'll kind of snap around and kind of go across the archway and come back over this way. That's fine. So what you will note is that as you're kind of approaching, as you're getting to that bridge you're about to pass, the smell of the briny sea kind of is present, but you also get a smell of like fish that is like overwhelming. And as you kind of pass the bridge, you can see like hanging up from hooks and kind of racks on the overhangs of the building are a number of different fish, like just all different types of fish. Not so many people here, but you do see a woman kind of over here, like on this small part over here, hanging some clothes up on a clothesline, kind of, sending it out over the water in between these two spaces. But yeah, not too many people out and about.
Yeah, I just find a quiet spot and sit down.
Okay.
Contemplate my life. Lives?
All of it. Cool. Moving on. Anybody else?
Sure, I go next.
Okay. So you
Yes.
enter in,
Yep.
and you are treated to a very floral-looking interior. It looks like there are a number of different kind of fancy silver and gold kind of accessories kind of hanging about. The chandelier in the center of the room above you is very ornate looking. There are all different types of people kind of in this space, but the primary people that are kind of present, so as you can see, appear to be orcs.
Orcs.
Yeah. Behind the counter at the front, you see an orc maiden kind of looking over at you as you enter in, and she says, "Excuse me, do you have an appointment or a reservation?"
No, I do not, but I was wondering if your fine establishment is in need of some entertainment,
Well,
which I can provide.
our manager is always looking for a new talent. However, we're currently busy and don't have much in the means of opportunity for us to grant you a conversation with the manager at this time to display your talents for his approval. He will be back later this afternoon. If you want to try and seek him out, I wouldn't advise it, but some of your ilk are very presumptuous in their skills. But yes, he's about at the promenade, I believe. But if you'd like to have your name jotted down, I could put you in for an hour of the eel, which you would kind of know from historical knowledge. That's probably about 3 o'clock, so maybe 2 or 3 hours out from now.
Excellent. So I would write down my name.
All right. After you put the name in the ledger, she says, "Unfortunately, we don't have any tables or anything, but there are a couple of spaces open at the bar if you'd like to take a seat. I don't know if you want to wait here for 3 hours or enjoy the matters that are available here in this fine city."
So I don't take up much space. I will have a seat at the bar, at least for the moment. Thank you for your help.
Absolutely. Billard will be able to assist.
He would tip his hat.
She would gesture with like a nod and say, "Billard would be able to assist you with any refreshments you would desire." As you come up to the bar, it's a grizzled dwarf but he's wearing like a kind of like white suit with a kind of pinkish tie, and he is currently serving what appears to be a very frothy-looking drink to a human woman off to the side there. And he looks over to you and says, "Well, hello." As he kind of leans in towards you, his beard is immaculately kempt. His tusks seem to be kind of just like cleanly kind of polished to like a high sheen of just whiteness. His eyes are just very caring, like a very concerning kind of server type. And his hair is kind of pulled back into like a high top knot, like almost like a man bun. And he says, "Is there anything I can get you? A menu or just something simple?"
Would you happen to have mead?
I do, actually. Yes, one moment. I will. Bottle or glass?
A glass, please.
Of course. And he'll set the menu out in front of you, which appears to be a very neat kind of lacquer board with like a piece of paper kind of slotted into like a glass covering and kind of screwed down into the lacquer. And as you kind of look at it, you see that there's one offering for mead kind of towards the top, and it's 12 gold a glass, and it's 50 gold a bottle. And after setting that down in front of you, he goes to the back, grabs a bottle. It looks like it's about half finished, and sets out a very small kind of glass and pours it for you.
Yes, reminds me of the nectar back home in the caves.
It's really
nice and sweet.
It's really quite good. If comparatively, like if you are a mead drinker, this is probably one of the finer, if not the finest, mead you've had ever.
Excellent. Billard, your name is?
Correct.
I like your style, Billard.
Well, thank you. It's my sister's establishment. She should be back anytime. I assume you're traveling minstrel or skald?
Minstrel it is. We have our different kinds of performances. We all have our specialties. And I'm hoping to show mine to the crowd here a little bit later on.
I can tell you that Kara is very concerned regarding the quality of performance, so I would highly suggest, and not to put any weight on your probably already nervous shoulders, but bring your best.
Oh no! I don't get nervous when I perform. There's no weight at all. And then he takes out his little book of puns and he starts to flip through it.
I want to go ahead and
cut scene.
Whoop. Whoever's next.
I'll take it.
Okay. So you make it to the Plant and Potter. 1 second here. I'm trying to remember which one's which.
It was somewhere over here.
Yeah, I know.
Left of the
Not
promenade.
not location-wise, interior-wise. Hold on a second.
Oh, okay. Wait, do I get a map change?
Maybe.
Oh, damn it.
No.
Looks like I do get bugged.
Wait a minute. Why is it not on there? I'm confused.
Are they not open?
Bear with me here.
Will they not serve my kind?
No racism here.
They don't take kindly to your
I don't take kindly to
Oh,
100 times reborn fucking satyrs.
Yeah, 100. That'd be a dream.
Oh yeah.
If I only died 100 times.
Okay, so when you enter into the space, the front door, the first thing on your right you see is a kind of like shop counter, right? And it has a bunch of materials kind of placed on it. You can see like 3 heads of lettuce, a number of root vegetables, mainly carrots, and a couple of strange kind of like pale lavender colored plants with like bright green tops. The best way I can describe it for you to like imagine it in real life is imagine if it was like a pastel eggplant. It's the best way I can kind of describe that. In the center of the room, you see what looks like a very large, like giant-sized plant creature It looks like it has a head with like an almost face-like kind of look to it, roots for arms and fingers and hands, and it appears to have been cut cleanly in half, so its legs are segmented from that top half. You can see the interior is just like it's almost like an onion, and the legs, the root legs, appear to have like red staining on them, which looks like either like similar to beets or similar to like blood, depending on what part you're kind of looking at. And
This is a creature. This is looking at me.
it's not looking at you; it is dead.
Okay, cool.
But it's taking up the entirety of the center of the room, right? All throughout the space on the walls, there are just a bunch of different, plants and what have you. And you can see that near each of them there is a crate that appears to have a very similar magical seal to the magical seal you saw in the basement of the gnome merchant's
gnome
house.
guy.
Yeah, basically refrigeration units. And out from behind the table with the massive dead root vegetable man comes a tabaxi. She kind of comes around the corner. She appears to have a very large kind of like saw-like knife in her hand, so like a serrated blade. And she kind of goes, "Oh!" and sets it out onto the table, and then walks over to you. "Hi, how can I help you?"
Hello, miss. I'm traveling in these parts and was hoping to restock.
Oh,
I'm something of an amateur potion maker. I was hoping you might have some supplies I could be interested in.
very good. Do you have any? Do you have a list?
I know I'm looking for Atavian flowers.
Atavian flowers, yes. She kind of wanders back behind the thing. You hear some kind of scuffling, and then
I
she's
should have researched our recipes.
still kind of like managing back there. But as you kind of go quiet as she's searching, she says, "Go ahead, I am listening."
I was hoping maybe you might have recommendations. Are you a potioner yourself?
No, no. I do mainly a collection of ingredients, and also I purchase a lot from the farmers to the south, and sell it at a highly upscaled market price for the people in the town, as they are want to buy the most finest of things, and I tell them that's what they are, so they pay.
I can't blame you for that. If you gotta get by, you gotta get by.
Just weirdly forward with the information.
Right.
Something about Bodhi
It's a business.
seems to her that he's a regular person.
She needs money.
Atavian flowers, how many you say?
Oh golly, I wouldn't mind having a good few dozen.
Few dozen.
Well, how many are you willing to part with? How many do you have in stock?
I have about 80.
How many is in a bouquet?
I do maybe 36.
Okay.
I don't know
Round
what
it up.
your how do you price those? Forgive me.
Oh,
I shouldn't jump right into numbers.
of course. 20 per
20 gold.
per flower. Yeah.
Okay, well, 36 might have been a laughable suggestion.
Well, you saw like a Cheshire grin like appear on her face when you said 36. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Maybe that's a little ambitious.
Maybe I need to offload a few things. You're not in the market for purchasing alchemical items, are you?
I am known to haggle and barter.
You seem the type to mostly focus on biological ingredients. I don't know that I'd have anything you'd be interested in.
Well, I have
Just
interest.
some dragon glass, maybe a little small amount of what was it called?
Come back with the mushrooms.
The steel? Flow steel.
Oh no, this does not sound like anything I would be very interested in.
I didn't think so.
There are plenty of people who are interested in purchasing such things. Not many folks are able to get a capable connection as of late to bring in resources outside of the city.
Oh, is that right?
Ah, yes. It's unfortunate. To the north, there is a bit of a squabble between two groups of individuals that is caused a lot of traffic to not enter into the space. And due to the heavy amount of storms we have in this season, not many boats have been able to make it this way either. Smaller craft, yes, but the larger ships which we would require do not.
Kidding. Huh. Oh, I'm sure I can ask around. Say you wouldn't know anything about. I had one poisonous item. I was hoping she would be able to identify for me. But I must not.
Okay.
What did I do with it? I had some poisonous flower that we found as like a while we were foraging.
Yeah.
I'm sure I have it written down somewhere and it's just gone to me.
Don't you also have the bottles of that like whatever that stuff is we picked up in the cave that like was like a Healy foam type stuff?
Stuff you skimmed off the water.
Yeah. I don't know if she'd be interested in it, but
Oh, Angel Glow?
is that what it's called?
The stuff we skimmed off the water was moon milk. We know about moon milk.
Yeah. Blood
No, I
We
mean,
have
like, yeah, for
Angel
like
Glow, which I think is a mushroom.
Bloodroot was the item that you had that you didn't weren't able to identify.
Why did I not write that down?
Don't know.
Son of a bitch. But yeah, I'll go through a couple things. Like, would you know anything about this? I'm sorry for your time. I really appreciate this.
Oh, no problem. I'm sorry. You pull it out and kind of unwrap it because you remember touching it was bad. And as she kind of looks at it, she says, "Are you wanting to part with this specimen?"
Well, I don't truly know what I'm capable of doing with it. Again, I'm an amateur alchemist.
I would gladly give you 4 Atavian flowers for it.
4 Atavian flowers. Well, what is it? What do I have?
Well, it is a bloodroot. It is a very poisonous thing that you have here.
I'd hate for somebody to get poisoned.
Eats
Do
it.
you make poisons yourself?
No, but there are certain things you can make with poisonous ingredients.
Okay.
And the cultivating of the bloodroot is quite difficult. So if individuals I am affiliated with are interested in it, I might be able to sell it for quite a bit.
Well, sounds like we could both make a little money off of this. Forgive me for being forward. I'd really prefer to do a batch at a time with the Octavian flowers.
Okay.
Would you be willing to go with 6?
No. Go ahead.
All right, you got it.
Go ahead and make a persuasion roll.
Persuasion?
Yeah.
19.
5 is the highest I will go for you.
Well, 5 sounds like a fine deal.
Yeah, because she said 4 at first, right? Cool.
Yeah.
Meet in the middle. Okay, she will, as she's kind of got the bundle of flowers, you see her pull out 5, set them onto the table, and as you look at them, you're kind of confused because they don't seem to move like plants do. They're almost like rigid in stone. And then she kind of goes back behind the counter and pulls out this dropper and then puts it onto each of the flowers, and then she kind of wiggles them in her hand.
Dehydrated?
And they seem to kind of like rehydrate magically.
Oh, what's that you did there? I've never seen that.
Oh, it is a alchemist technique. It's more herbology. Deals with making sure plants are able to stay in stasis if you are traveling through areas or if they're being transported from long distances. The manner of doing it is not something I am capable of doing, but my wholesaler, they typically will provide this service to me so that they can keep quite long and I can sell them at a later date.
Well, I'm terribly interested in learning. Would you be willing to share the name of your wholesaler if I could perhaps seek him out?
Of course,
Or
the halflings village to the south. The halfling people are the ones who go out into the fields around Swordbreak and acquire some of the more common materials, such as the flowers here.
And they're the ones that dry the flowers for you? Do they sell them to you dried?
Correct. The river folk have the techniques to do this, yes.
And what was it that you added to the flower to rehydrate it? That wasn't simply water, was it?
It is water with a small amount of residuum included inside of it, yes.
Fascinating.
About an ounce distilled within.
Well, thank you so much for your time. You wouldn't know a good place to get some good jars, would you? I like to keep a good collection of jars.
The apothecary should have some, but I also know that there is a good amount of jars sold at Big Bang's general store. It's a bit further down the road, but they do have a lot of quality items there.
Well, the apothecary was next on my docket, so I'll head over there. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
A pleasure.
And I'll hop on out of there with 5 flowers.
All right. Who next?
I'll go.
The armorer?
Yeah.
Or the blacksmith? Which one do you want to do first?
We'll do blacksmith first.
Okay. So as you step into the space, like the area there, the armorer's building looks like it's a bit more inviting, and you kind of have to maneuver around quite a bit to actually get to the front door. There's this moment where you're told it's this building here, but then you're at the base of steps and there's a building in between you and it, and also a hole in the ground which seems to have the roof of another building inside of it. Like this here is like below the ground you've been walking on. And so you kind of look at it and you walk up the steps and then realize that you have to kind of cycle around all around the outside of all these buildings until you can get to the blacksmith. When you finally do and enter into the space, the space is filled with just like kind of soot, and like it's covered in kind of a dirty, grimy kind of look, and you can hear kind of a loud hammering out back, or from behind the wall that is opposite of where you entered in, and sitting at a just very simple looking desk is a young man, kind of got soot on his cheeks, and he looks at you and says, "Oh, hi, can I help you with something?"
Oh, I was just looking around at the armor in the blacksmith shop.
Oh, we don't keep much of a stock here. We typically just do services. So do you need anything worked on? My dad's in the back working right now. It's probably inside of his skill level, though.
Yeah, I'll pull out the little bit of flow steel that Bodhi gave me.
Uh-huh.
Like, I picked this up in a recent adventure, and I'm not really sure what I can use it with. I'm something of a... I really only do repairs on my armor and stuff, so wouldn't call myself a blacksmith or nothing. So I was just wondering what this could be used for.
Oh, well, I'll have to go get him. Can you hold on a second?
Yeah, that's fine.
I hate to be this guy, but I just had the sudden urge to go pee. I'll be right back. I'm so sorry.
What is with you, Lily?
I don't know.
We go to the bathroom before the game. Go ahead.
That's a bit much for the stream.
We're streaming.
What's new with you guys?
Nothing much.
Still pretty good.
How was your guys' Age of Sigmar day?
Pretty good.
Was it fun?
I went 0-2.
Damn, if someone found a way to beat the Giants.
They're really not very good when you only get 4 of the little ones and nothing else to help them. Especially when you're playing a lot of stuff that requires controlling a large area of the board.
That's rough.
So you need like a mega gargant to help.
It speeds them up a lot, yeah. They're not great on their own. I still did okay. John and I technically tied, but he won the tie.
What point total did you play at? 600?
600 points. I get 4 Gargants. It's my whole army. It's 4 dudes. Here we go.
That's incredible.
I didn't get to charge a lot. And if I don't get to charge, I can't do anything.
Jody, how you doing?
Alright, man.
That's good. Your fake bedroom looks cool.
Thanks, I cleaned up this morning.
Got some new pictures on the wall.
Yeah, bro.
Ready to sell some feet pigs.
I so would if anyone would ever want them.
I'll stream it.
Same.
That's
Same.
an advertisement.
rjwilbur85@gmail.com.
Uh-oh.
You want feed pigs? Come get me.
But no, working on the website by trying to get it to where, it's working.
I get you.
Steve, Andy, what you got going on? Brent?
Not much, doing school and all that jazz.
Steve, what's the baby's name again?
Her name's Charlotte, but we call her Charlie.
That's nice.
Charlie
That's cute.
McPoopy Pants.
Should have been a former Steve.
Savina.
It's a very cute name.
Okay, sorry.
Let's ignore the real name. This sounds like Steve.
So he comes back out with his father, and his father kind of looks at you, and he is an older man, Janaran human. He looks like he has the best way to describe it is a beard that looks like the middle portion of the beard has been burned away, and there's just kind of like frizz kind of present there on his chin. He looks at you and says, "Can I help you?"
Yeah, this is my dwarven buddy told me this is called flow steel, but I personally have no idea how to use it in making something.
He takes a look at it. Yeah, sure is. Are you trying to sell it, or what are you trying to do with it?
Oh, I have no idea what I could do with it other than sell it personally.
Oh,
Yeah, it was I'm trying to inquire about it right now, honestly, to see what it could be used for, if anything.
well, I'd have to consult some older books, but I do know I could probably do something with it for the armor. I mean, if you're just wanting to sell it, I'll pay you 100 for this.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. He goes around to the desk the kid was at, sets it down on the table, puts out 100 onto the table, and he says, "I might need maybe 4 or 5 more of these if you can come across them."
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how much more my buddies have, but I'll let them know that if they're interested in selling it, that you could purchase it.
That's great. Okay, well, thanks for doing business. Do you have anything that you need repaired or anything you need, made?
Not at the moment. I've already kind of repaired my sword and stuff while out on the road. So.
Oh, are you a blacksmith yourself?
Yeah, I mainly do repairs on my own equipment, though.
Oh, gotcha. No, easy enough. Okay, well, I mean, if you're looking for anything to upgrade yourself, a lot of my work is over at the armor, so take a gander there.
I shall do that.
You have a good
Also,
one. Oh,
I was just wondering, the steps, they have a house underneath the rocks, or underneath the steps, right? I'm not crazy. Like, I did see a house under there.
yeah, you're not crazy. So Swordbreak is City built on top of a city, which is built also on top of a city.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. The if I remember the story and how it goes, the proto-Jernarans, the folks who were here before, um, dug a massive hole and built a massive wall on the water um, with a large number of mechanisms beneath to sift water out over the wall. And they created a barrier against the sea. It broke, obviously, because it's just a dumb idea. Um, and then folks built a town over top of that, but it was actually a bit problematic as the sea levels began to rise. And so the next folks built a town on top of that.
Well, let's hope that it doesn't rise again.
Oh well. If it does, I mean, we're on the higher part of town, so maybe we'll luck out.
I hope you do, buddy.
All right. You'll be heading over to the armor next, right?
Yep.
Okay, we'll deal with that in a second. Let's go ahead and do either Silas or Rolling Rock.
I can go.
Okay. So you make it to. You'd actually probably see a bit of Ezekiel's trek as you kind of make your way in a similar process, kind of up this way and then like around and through across the bridge to 10. And when you get there, big sign says Big Bang's General Store. In the center, it's kind of like a small, like nuclear mushroom explosion kind of icon. And the door appears to have been broken in half, kind of like from the, not from the like top and bottom halves. I'm talking like sidelong, and there's like a burn mark. It almost looks like it was just kind of like split in half or knocked off its hinges. The hinges are there, but the other side is gone. And it kind of just sways in the wind. This burnt piece of wood, and you can hear some people inside kind of talking and such.
Am I aware this is like a chain of general stores?
No. So the Big Bangs is a family that is known to you based on what you were told by the half-orcs that were with the gnome that was in the basement that disappeared inside of the belly of a creature. It was according to them, there was a relative of that guy here that had the last name Big Bangs. And then out of character, we would know Big Bangs is a family that's kind of prevalent in Jornaris historically.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll go in and try not to knock the door off whatever is left of its hinge.
Okay. Inside, you see that there's 3 people kind of bantering about. One of them is kind of talking down to this bright, red-haired gnome who's kind of looking up at him, like kind of with a surly-looking, kind of angry-looking look on his face. The other 2 look like they're kind of engaging in kind of like jokes behind, like behind the 2 who are conversating. It sounds like they're making fun of the gnome, and you can also see that the guy who's talking down to the gnome appears to be brandishing a weapon. Like he has a weapon in his hand. Looks like he's doing kind of a bit of intimidation work. The 3 of them look like they're kind of banditly types. They're kind of wearing leathers. They have daggers. And the one that is kind of closest to you and who takes notice of you first, you can see that he has a duelist blade, like a rapier, on his hip. But the guy who's talking is the largest of the 3. Very muscular, looks like a tough, and kind of has like a massive club with kind of metal studs on its head. And then they kind of stop talking to kind of look to you. Scram! The guy with the duelist blade says.
Am I in the right place? I'm looking for Big Bangs.
He
Told you
ain't,
he's in
he ain't gonna be able to talk with you. He's currently occupied. And you see the gnome kind of look over at you, like nervously, kind of like looking at you like a pleading eyes kind of look.
Well, I got some business with that there gnome.
Yeah, so
So,
we get in line. You see the duelist one kind of place his hand on the hilt of the rapier.
Alright, I'll kind of unsaddle the totem and kind of like let it kind of thunk to the floor and kind of put a hand on it. And just start to channel a little primal magic into it, just so to like make the eyes kind of start to flare on it. Be like, look, there's time for us all. It's early in the day. We can all talk to the gnome, but let's keep things civil, I think.
We have been up until you arrived. And you see the rapier flash out, and he kind of looks at you. You think parlor tricks are going to matter to me? I don't think so. And they look like they're coming kind of towards you in a bit more hostile posture. But they're pretty tightly grouped, and they're kind of moving towards you, which puts them further away from Big Bang, like a good 15 feet away from him.
I still have time. Do I have time to react?
Yeah, you can take an action if you like.
Alright, I'll cast granite armor. I'll kind of pull on the stone on the crucible and let it kind of go up my arm, and then kind of clack my fists together. I said, I thought we were keeping it civil.
Okay.
And since granite armor, I think, is a second level spell.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's pretty tight corridors. Since they look, I'll need them to make a saving throw for aftershock.
Okay.
It's what is it? Strength saving throw, spell save.
They all failed.
Yeah, so they'll take 2d6 thunder damage.
Are you hitting the gnome too?
No, I can choose who takes it. Not too much.
You lift the stein and kind of slam it down, and as it does, it kind of causes this wave to kind of shudder out as the armor kind of flails up your body, kind of just growing up from the ground, encasing you in the granite armor. As that happens, they kind of all like look to you like angrily. The duelist kind of rushes in and will attempt to attack you. Granite armor sets your AC to 18, correct?
Yeah.
He stabs and it bounces off of your armor, doesn't go into the planned gap he thought he saw, and you watch his blade just break against the armor. The other two very quickly kind of move out to the sides. One jumps out of a window and one runs into the back room. Big Bang protests at that. The gnome that you presume is Big Bang protests at that guy going back there. And the duelist, like kind of looking at the hilt of his sword, kind of throws it to the side. If you have an action to respond with, you can go ahead and do it.
I'm just thinking he doesn't want the guy going in the back. Does he look like he's about to like give chase to the guy in the back, or is he kind of just like...
No. It's more like, no, don't go back there! Kind of.
He's not allowed.
Then I'll just look to the duelist. I just tell him, get your friend out of the back and get out of here.
He says, I don't think you understand, and he reaches down towards one of the many daggers on his belt. I'm going to let you know, if you want to take an action, I'll allow it, but he is going to continue to attack you until something happens. That last one was just really bad.
I'll just crack him non-lethal. I'm not trying to murder someone in a city. Non-lethal with the stein.
Go ahead and roll it.
So, critical hit.
Like, as he's kind of like grabbing the dagger and pulling it out, he looks down, he kind of unhatches it, but as he's looking up, all he sees is that dwarven face coming down right into his face, and he just lay him out cold. You can move as well as, you could probably, if you move 25 feet, you could probably give chase to the guy in the back room.
Yeah, I'll do that. I want to see what he's up to back there, because it looked like something, like whatever explosion or damage happened at the door, like this guy might keeping some stuff back there.
I will say that doesn't look fresh.
Okay.
That looks like it's just a part and parcel to the whole scenario there. But yeah, as you kind of come around to the back, you would see him kind of very quickly scrolling and looking at the shelf, he sees something and kind of reaches out for it. His left hand opens up a bag, which you can tell is a bag of holding, and he shoves this very large-looking, like a glass container. The best way I can describe it is like it looks like a hourglass, like a large hourglass, but with no like center portion. It's just like a column in the center, and it's just filled with sand. And he shoves that into the bag, and then kind of turns and looks at you, annoyed. But he's got no more movement or action, so he's done.
A gravelly voice. I'll say, "Drop it. Town guards are on their way. You want to spend a night in the cell, or we can let you walk away?"
He grins and kind of points at you with like. So he's got the bag in one hand now, and he's got the he pushed the thing away. He pulls out the club and kind of points it at you and says, "Ha! You thought!" And then he disappears in a cloud of just cherry blossoms, and you don't know for sure where he went. But as you kind of move forward to see where he's at, there's a window right next to him. And as you kind of look off to the left, you can see him kind of just booking it over towards this bridge. So basically, like inside in the interior, you walked in here, and then you headed into the back, and then you see him going this way. He misty stepped and bolted.
Okay, so he real fast.
Yeah. So he's already moved like 60 away from you, and he's outside without having to go through a wall.
I don't know if I can I get him without causing property damage?
Superhero dilemma.
Really possible. I mean, wait, is this place kind of already ramshackle? Like this is part of town?
This building is in particular, but I mean, again, you're trying to be on the good graces with Big Bang, so like, it's up to you whether or not you want to further his already present problems. Like, just because it's broken doesn't mean like someone doesn't rely on it. You know what I mean?
No, I won't damage here because the like splitting earth is 120 feet, so I could like send it out after the guy, but wherever it detonates.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and just to mathematic it. Hold on a second here. Go ahead and pull, if you know where your token is, go ahead and grab it and place it like right here.
All right. So.
I should have an arrow pointed. Do you see it?
Oh, see it.
Okay. And I'm going to snap ping onto us. And then I am going to... Bear with me here.
Oh, yeah.
Grab me a bandit. It's not actually a bandit. But, yeah. That's the token I'm using. So he was standing there. He teleported 30 feet out to there. And then he moved... Oh, oops. Then he moved 1, 2, 3, 4. Move 30.
All right. Let's see.
So you in the narrative beat I gave you, you kind of moved into his space and looked out the window and can see kind of where he's going.
Yeah, and then kind of a gravelly voice to no one in particular. I'll just be like, "Parlor tricks, are they?" And I'll take like a gravel fist and slam it into the ground, sending a small fissure, kind of chasing him.
Okay.
And then it'll kind of pop up next to him, kind of hopefully trying to slam him off to the side and with jagged stone and all that.
Let's see. Go ahead and throw up the ability real quick. Yeah. So if I remember correctly, 20 feet cubes centered in that point. Okay, cool. Good. Okay, so the fissure, like, it kind of cuts through. It doesn't seem to do any damage to the building you're in, nor does it do any damage to the, like, foundation of the building that's kind of in between you and him. And then it pops, as you watch it burst outwards. 17 is really good. He is not able to nimbly dodge out of the way, and you watch as the kind of earth splits up on him and causes him for a second to kind of like drop down to a knee, and blood kind of shooting out from his sides from like the rents that like lifted up and split out on him. But he's not dead. He does look wounded.
I was trying not to. Yeah, I forgot to say non-lethal. Yeah, my intent isn't to kill.
Yeah, well, what I mean is he's also not knocked out. He is still conscious. So on his, he's just going to dash, then bonus action dash, and just keep booking it. But directionality, you're able to kind of get an idea that he was moving. Actually, it should be 30 less. I'm bad at math. You would get a feel that he is heading north on the map. North is also north on the map as well.
Yeah, and if he's bleeding out, I might be able to ask Uther if we can find him to track him down.
Yeah, exactly, because he's going to leave a trail. So what I'll say is after that kind of a bit, Uther
would have heard that.
make a perception check. Not so much heard, but see.
Is it site based?
Yeah.
You said see. Oh wow, 10. It's pretty
You
good.
are-
Maybe not.
You are too focused on your meditation or whatever
He's
you're
trying.
doing.
He's trying not to look at the water.
You're
across the bay.
alone time. You're too focused on your alone time.
Sitting on the dock of the bay.
Sitting on the dock of the bay. If you like pina colada. It's a different
Not
song.
the same song.
I don't know. It has something to do. It has something to do with, doesn't it? Doesn't it? It has a beach
Uh,
thing, right? There's a beach thing in it. I don't know. Fuck it. Shut up. He gets away,
Alright, man.
and nobody saw him.
Waiting for the morning sun.
Just confused Otis Redding with Jimmy Buffett.
I just don't know old timey music.
That's fine.
And he tells me all the time.
It's very true.
So after that kerfuffle, you go back into the room with Big Bang, right?
Yeah, I kind of let the Grant fall off my skin, just so I'm not looking as intimidating, and then help him to his feet if he's...
Yeah, I assume it kind of, as it does, it kind of becomes particulate. It doesn't like kind of just thunk, thunk, thunk.
Just
And-
cracking dirt all over the floors.
And again, this place looks like it's pretty messed up anyways. It looks like there are a number of different
And
kind
a
of...
broom and a
I just
rake.
wept.
The best way to describe the interior of the space is there are a lot of like small little like workstations that look like they've all been kind of blown up. There's like that kind of black scoring that kind of like comes out from them, like that, corona of just like explosion material from each of them. It's like Looney Tunes-esque. It's like those burst signs are like at all of the workstations, and then there are a bunch of shelves with just shit just stocked on them, and each one of them seems to have like a price kind of like hanging from it or like glued to it. And he goes, "Wow, thank you so much. That was really helpful and really great. But you probably just made them mad if they got away."
Well, we still have their buddy, and pointing at the knocked out guy. Maybe you can hand him over to the guards and...
Oh well, they're not gonna.
go.
They're not gonna help.
Oh, well, that's...
They're in bed with them. They don't watch anything out over here. They don't give a shit.
Well, I saw he took some hourglass-shaped thing. What is that?
Oh, he got it, huh?
Yeah, I tried to stop him, but...
That was my stockpile of Residuum.
Oh no.
I had about 12 pounds in there.
Oh, jeez. Well, I was told you might have a place to find a unique alcohol in these parts. Sorry to change the subject, but it was the original reason I came here.
Yeah. I've got some concoctions. He seems to just be kind of like really, really upset. And he says, "It's never gonna stop. They're always just gonna do what they want, huh?" And he walks around the corner. He says, "There, that counter there's got some, and that counter there has got some too. And if you want, you take any bottle on those shelves you want, and sure you can have it for trying. Thank you."
Great, that's great. So while I'm kind of like collecting up a couple of the bottles that catch my eye, I'll ask him like, who are these guys? Who are these bandits? Does their gang have a name?
The Red Apples.
Red Apples?
Yeah.
You getting grifted by people called the Red Apples?
Shut up.
Put those bottles back.
Put those bottles back, you punk bitch. Get out of my store.
Well, they do business with people who are nice to me.
No, maybe
You gotta have a sympathetic shopkeeper.
Did any of you guys have the folk hero background? Out of curiosity, I don't know if you were-
Nope.
No.
I
I
guess
think I do.
I just don't know how out of our way do-gooding we can want to do.
Don't I?
I mean,
'Cause I have the second background.
Whatever. Well, I also know this guy's a huge cache of residuum on him, so maybe
Bodhi, you do have Hokiro.
Yeah. I don't know what you're going for.
to try to elicit you guys to help these poor, despoiled people. It's kind of another side thing, but you know.
I have City Watch.
It's kind of my thing.
Look.
Helping the downtrodden.
Yeah, look, man.
I'm
I'll
bottom
see.
of the
I'll see what you
carpet.
do. There ain't too many dwarves who turn themselves. Well, maybe there are a lot of dwarves who turn their skin to stone. That might be pretty dwarvish, but they're probably gonna try to take at least a few cuts off my beard for what I did to them. So I'll see if me and mine can maybe help you out and to take those guys down, or at least get them off your back.
Okay.
You mind if I take this guy with me too? I got some questions for him.
Yeah, please. I don't know what I'd do with him. Probably kill him. Just like his friend. He seems to mutter whatever he just muttered.
All right, so I'll take the booze, and then before I pick the guy up, I'm gonna pour some of the alcohol on him. So if someone ever asks, I'm just gonna say he's drunk.
Okay.
I'm taking him back to sleep or whatever.
Okay. A believable enough story.
Did I get anything unique from the shelves, or just most like run of the mill?
Oh, so alcohol-wise, no, yeah, nothing special, except for one bottle of... Going to my handouts, going to my recipes, going to my drugs. A single bottle of liquid courage.
Ooh.
Which I believe you have the recipe for.
Yeah, I already knew how to make it. All right, I'll pick the guy up, and then I will essentially take him back with me to our meeting spot when the time comes.
Okay. Cool. Anybody else? Oh, Silas. Silas, you're going into the promenade, looking around at all of the cool food vendors. There are a number of different places in the promenade. I would say that the ones that kind of stand out to you is there's this place that seems to fry like meat and bread on a stick. It's not quite a corn dog, but that's the best kind of thing I can kind of give you.
I was hoping it was the introduction of corn dogs to fantasy.
I would say that it's almost like an actual hot dog on a stick instead of it being like fully wrapped around. So like it displays
like it.
Yeah, it displays the meat. The meat is displayed.
On a stick.
And
How
then
you want it to be.
and then what they do is when they have the stick and they hold it out with like the meat up, like upside, and then they fill that with stuff.
Are there any like kitchens or anything, or is it just like street vendors?
They are all in the building, so they're all kind of like built-in kitchens inside of the space. But they have kind of like a very limited kind of serving availability, especially on the interior.
Food court.
It's a mall food court, but yeah, the restaurant tiers appear to be very serious. Like there's not a, it's not don't think of like a food court level of cuisine. It's more like I'm trying to think of like a good example.
A series of nice restaurants sharing a seating area.
Yeah.
I would like to find one that seems the nicest or the most popular.
Okay. Yeah, looking at the tables, looking at all the people like up and down the stairs, because again, there's a number of different flights. You would see that it looks like the most popular of these appears to be a place called Fish Lips. And that's just the name of the restaurant here. It seems they sell all different types of fish cuisine. And it seems to be very popular amongst the people here. It's the most popular of all of the different restaurants. They sell things like, Fish. They sell also fish.
Hush
But-
puppies.
But it looks like they prepare the fish in a lot of different ways. So you have kind of like, almost like a sashimi kind of styling of fish, like cooked in kind of acidic kind of citrus, and not like overly kind of raw in that regard. They have, more of a tempura kind of thing where they kind of deep fry the fish on sticks. Seems to be a very popular trend going around in the promenade at current, is put it on stick, covered in bread, and shove it in grease. Yeah, they probably have like poke bowls and like other different stylings of like fish food.
Okay. I'll go around, try a couple, and just see if there's any ideas I can come up with that I'd like to take back or write down.
Okay. If you're spending the entirety of the day just like studying, yeah, that's fine. If you spend the entirety of the day studying, I'll say that. Bear with me here. You would be able to pick up on something that catches your eye immediately. That's outside of the popularity is that some folks seem to be kind of working and making something that's what they're calling is moppet bread, and it's pretty expensive from what you can tell. Like people are paying like hundreds of gold pieces for it, so like the money that's being changed hands here is pretty nuts. But the moppet bread bakery is kind of towards the bottom of the space, but you spend the day kind of like, people leave some behind, kind of picking it up, watching the people in the back kind of cooking it, and if you want to, spending 250 gold to buy it, buy a moppet bread.
Have it?
You don't have it?
No, I only have 80
We
gold.
collectively don't have a lot of money.
Okay.
We have not found a lot of treasure at all.
Well, regardless, what I'm going to say
Treasures
is
of friendship we found along the way.
Yeah.
There you go.
is kind of like
Picked up all my treasure back in.
staying kind of like in the space and watching it be prepared in the back through the window, stealing the bits that are left behind or like discarded in the trash because there's no shame in that. It's if they're not going to eat it, you might as well. You would gather what moppet bread is.
Cool.
Okay.
Got it.
Switching back to who was first? Nick's, right?
Well, Jeremy was first. I think I came after, so whatever you want to do with Jeremy.
Change it up, Jeremy, or no?
Yeah, I'll just meander back through town. We'll head up this next island north.
Okay. I would say that you would probably run into Rolling Rock, who, after buying the alcohol, is now dragging a guy around, and is probably not trying to take the high roads or anywhere like formidable. So you're kind of coming out of those like low spaces and run into Rolling Rock.
I ask no questions and pick up the guy for him and throw him over my shoulder.
Ride or die.
I just give him a nod.
Nice.
Lead away.
And as we're heading back, towards the meeting, so I kind of just give him the skinny on what's happening and that there might be there's probably a blood trail that we might be able to track his accomplice. And also
Sorry I missed it.
the huge bounty of residium that's at the end of that trail. You know what I'm saying?
I don't, but I will help you anyway.
I have no idea what any of that means. I have never recipeed. All right.
Used a lot of big words. I gave you an A anyway.
So, Nyx, after about 3 hours, several people have passed through this space. It is very busy during the afternoon time. But around 3-ish, 4-ish, 3-ish more like, the half-orc woman comes in, who you were told is named Kara. She seems to have a conversation with someone at the front desk, the person you spoke with, and then walks over to the bar where you've been sitting, kind of chatting back and
Yep.
forth with Billard. She walks over to you and says, "Hi, you're Nix?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Kara. Pleasure. You're wanting to do some performances here at the at our abode, right? Our
Ready to go if you'll have me.
Well, we do have a number of people who are very interested in performing here. This is quite a lucrative spot for bards, skalds, storytellers, minstrels, etc. But yeah, I would love to see what you have available, and I do have a private room in the back if you'd like to accompany me.
Okay.
All right. She
His one eyebrow raises a little bit.
wanders through like the populated kind of space and kind of move through like the busy kind of dining hall, and then you move into a back area which is also for what you would expect to just be tea. Like, no, it's super busy back there. They're preparing. You saw these small little like tiered like plate trays with like small little sandwiches and perfectly kind of burnished little dishes and deliciously kind of like sculpted treats. You would say, like, it looks simple in the front. Going to the back, you see all of the care that's being put into all these little details in the space up front. And she leads you through this busy kitchen into a back room, which has like a steel door with a small window in it. She opens it up and enters in. Inside of the space are just books and recipe books and all sorts of different like things kind of present here. And she moves around the desk and sits down. And then you have this space in front of you, whatever you need. Just let me know when you're ready, and then just give me a sampling of what you have to offer.
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay.
And so Nix would take out his lute, and he'd strum a few lines, and he'd say, "I just flew in from Renner's Run, and boy, are my arms tired. Thank you very much. My name is Nix, and I'll be here all week." And he winks at Kara. No, seriously though, folks. I used to be addicted to Hokey Pokey, but then I turned myself around. Then he strums some more a couple times. And he does a little
shoots
bow.
I know you're reading. How long is this?
Okay.
done.
Hold on.
Make a performance check. That's kind of the thing. But
The
you know, this is
performance check, but I'm gonna let you know, because it's a comedy set. I am giving
No,
you.
but he's surrounded by music.
I get you, but I'm gonna give you disadvantage.
That's just patently unfair. But okay.
You laughed, John.
Not a comedy town.
This
No.
is Karen. This is
crowd.
not
It-
tough
again,
crowd.
me personally, great, wonderful. Again, the space that you're in, yeah, it's
Hey, Andy, save it. Give him a Rodney Dangerfield necktie adjustment.
tough crowd.
tough crowd. Roll it.
My wife, please.
I thought I rolled it.
And the bug eyes, but it's actually Bug's eyes. That's
I
great.
got a 12.
After kind of going through it, you can tell, like, towards the end of it, she's kind of like... And then she kind of stands up and says, I thank you for your time. We will definitely send message to you if we are interested in pursuing you to perform here. For now, we don't really have an availability. I do apologize. I will let you know that there are a couple of different locations that do allow for free performances, and I can get you lined up with possible performances this evening. There are spaces at the Promenade which are a bit more open and receptive to more interactive performances such as you've displayed.
Thank you. I'd appreciate that.
No problem. She would lead you out.
So
A
mechanically,
question for
John,
Andy.
by popular demand,
By popular demand,
someplace in town, it's
Yes.
going to work.
correct.
Fine.
You're not going to be able to play. This position is the kind of like top dollar yes position. She's gotten you access to play at the Promenade, and she kind of writes out a note at the front desk for you and hands it to you. And basically, you now have clearance to play at the Promenade and collect there. But she would also let you know that next door, because she does like having performing people in the space. It's a soft no. It's not a hard no. But she tells you that the building next door is where a lot of people who enter into the space that are well-to-do will stay, and she would like for you to stay at one of the smaller rooms therein, which you're pretty sure would comfortably fit you and your crew.
Okie doke.
If they're willing to sleep on the floor. But yeah, next door to the space is Hevath House, which is the...
Yeah, you mentioned that, yeah.
Right. And Kara's last name is Hevath, and so is Billard's.
So as Nix leaves, he's walking past the bar, and he goes like this to Billard. She loved it, and walks out.
Yeah, moving on to the next person.
Memorize my face because I'm going to be a star.
That's right. Can't deny it.
Well, oh my god. Sometimes I stick my hands under my armpits and I smell them. This...
Stop.
Super
That's
star.
an old one.
Yay! Who wants to go next?
I guess I'll go again. I think this is the order we did last time.
The apothecary, correct?
I was headed towards the apothecary with my 5 brand new rehydrated flowers.
Perfect.
And a smile on my face.
When you get to the space, you see that the window is kind of filled with all of these kind of blossoms and blooms in the window. And kind of seated next to them are 3 different things in front of each potted plant in the window. There appears to be a small vial that is filled with like an essence of something, or the plant behind it. Then there is another bottle that has seeds inside of it. And then lastly, if it's a fruit-bearing plant, the fruit seems to have been kind of put into it in like a jam of some sort. And if it's not a fruit-bearing plant, it looks like there's just like a stack of petals or leaves inside of it kind of crushed in. And so these are listed as essence, concentrate, and fruit.
They're just in a window?
Yeah, they're in the window. So you can, like, as you're walking up to the door, you can kind of see.
See what kind of stock they have available.
Yeah.
And this is like a showing of the plant and the final product that comes from the plant.
Correct.
As I understand. Okay.
Yep. And then when you
I'll take some notes real quick just so I can identify what these plants are.
Absolutely. So the ones that are most prominently displayed, there's a total of 6 that are kind of just put on offer up front. You see that there is halfling root, there is dryad seed, there is Atavian flower, there is orange caps, and
I think we've come across those before.
red flower leaves.
Okay, that's 5.
Oh, one last one, sorry.
It's not a big deal if there's only 5. I'm just making sure.
It's the dwarven one. Dwarvish root. Okay. So when you open in, the first thing you see just opposite of you is a very large series of shelves, all kind of covered with potions, elixirs, poultices, ointments, oils, you name it. On the left side, there's a massive garden that's kind of grown up, and around the corner, you can see the window where those are displayed. You can also see that in the corner, kind of tucked out of the window sight, kind of right near the door, are these very large, like they almost look like the fly traps from Mario, like plants. Piranha plants, that's the word I wanted. But then there's a nice looking rug that has like a rose, and the rose is shaped like a heart, and it has like sun spikes kind of coming off of it on the rug. That's what it's been patterned as. And then there's a counter, and behind the counter there is a what are the elf people called? Or not elf people, elephant people called? Loxodons?
Loxodon,
yeah.
There's a massive Loxodon guy kind of behind the counter, and he's kind of looking at an apothecary set, and it seems that these magic hands are kind of manipulating the fine instruments. When he sees you kind of enter in, the magic hands kind of disappear and set everything kind of neatly, and then he kind of stands up and comes around the counter, looking at you and says, "Welcome, welcome."
See the forest for the trees. How you doing, mister?
I'm doing great. Is this your first time here?
I'm afraid I'm new around these parts. I'm looking to resupply.
You do.
Acquaint myself.
You do look unfamiliar to me. But yes, this is the Rose and Thorn. Are you seeking out healing potions or maybe a filter of love?
No, none of that. None of that love business. I'm an adventurer by trade and a part-time alchemist. Hoping I could get my hands on some recipes or any kind of know-how you might be willing to part with.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a couple of recipes drafted up. Let me see what I have available for you right away. He kind of goes back behind the counter. You can see that there's a book kind of out on the table. He kind of very quickly just closes the book and reaches under the counter, and you can hear him shuffling some papers. And as he does so, he then finally comes up and he says, "Well, adventurer, huh? I could help you with
I mean, I admit I'm not much.
fair. Potions of healing. Do you know how to make them?"
The basic, most simple recipe, yes. I would love to understand the more advanced concoctions.
Okay. Advanced. What would be advanced for you and useful?
Superior. I don't know. I don't remember. Out of character, I do not remember the names of other healing potions.
How about potions of resistance?
It could be cool.
Okay.
I do hate being hurt.
Um.
You look at me and tell me what I need, mister.
Sure. Potion of mental fortitude. Potion of psychic resistance. Yes?
Yeah.
I can sell you this recipe. It will cost you 200 gold pieces.
200 gold pieces. Well, goodness, I don't think I could afford such a thing. Say, while I'm here, I am looking to price some objects I found around in my travels.
Mm-hmm.
If you're interested, I don't know that you're the collecting sort, but you seem to have some odds and ends.
I typically only keep what I keep. I don't have much room for things outside, but I can tell you what I have on offer for recipes that you can purchase and give you a ballpark as to what you're looking at in buying the knowledge.
Sure. And if there's anything you're looking for to restock, I'd be happy to keep an eye out for it.
I'm not much of a barterer. Sorry.
I see.
But
nobody wants to buy dragon glass in this part.
Potions of fire resistance, potion of psychic resistance, potion of frost resistance. I have potion of growth, potion of heroism, and potion of advantage. And also the normal martial resistant potions as well. Bludgeoning, piercing, slashing.
Oh boy, that one sounds real good for me.
Well, no, it's not one for...
All those sound real good.
Yeah.
That all sounds real cool. What was your name?
Oh, my name is...
I'm sorry to put you on the spot. Genuinely, I am. I thought since he was a Luxodon, he'd have a name.
No,
Mr. Fant.
I just moved away from that to go look at the notes for potions.
Eli Fant.
Eli Fant. No. His name is
Doug.
Afshar.
Afshar?
Afshar.
Well, pleasure to meet you. I'm Bodhi.
Likewise.
Traveling west for the time being.
Very good.
Well, gee whiz, I don't suppose... Well, I know I need to buy some jars. If I could buy some jars off of you.
Do have jars. Yes. I have I'd say at most 20 available at current, and they'd be normal jar price in general. The players have.
I recall them being absurdly cheap, so
Yeah.
I'll probably buy all 20. They're like 10 copper.
For sure.
It's red. Well, I don't suppose you would know who'd be interested in buying things like, I'm just rummaging through my bags. I've got Weird Worm, Flow Steel, Dragon Glass.
Wait, what's this? He says as he looks at the weird worm in the vial.
I don't know. I woke up, we were camping, and then we were outside. I was so sure we were inside this vault. And I guess in my sleep, I collected a specimen or two.
Huh. He looks at it very curiously.
Yeah, sorry, I know I'm not there, but I'm just... Is he looking at the
This
fresh-
is not
the front-
Urslot's worm. This
Not
is the
Ursula,
other
it's
one.
one of the dried ones, right? Like one of the...
I've got one that's dried. I've got the calcified larva, pink larva, the brine shrimp, piece of a big brain,
We got it's worms all
brain
the way
juice.
down.
I've been jarring a lot of shit lately. I'm keeping Urslot's worm on the down low for now.
It's nice to have hobbies.
Is everything okay, John?
Hold on a second. I'll be right back. I'm sorry to do it
Okay.
again to you guys. I'm really sorry. There's something going on.
You're fine. Good luck.
There's a good chance we're going to get our tequila business off the ground. Just need to find a gelatinous cube. And we can make our tequila.
Can't be that hard.
Once we meet up, I'll let you guys know about the blacksmith that'll buy flow steel for 100 gold.
I have
Also-
a pretty good feeling you got ripped off.
Fair enough. I also I do have an alchemist jug as well. I just was looking at my inventory just now, and I have one. I remember us using it.
Jug?
Yeah, an alchemy jug. Yeah.
So we can get
Huh.
a ton of mayonnaise.
Yeah, we can get 2 gallons of mayonnaise, a gallon of honey, 4 gallons of beer, half an ounce of basic poison, 8 ounces of acid,
We can make a
1
decent
quart
money.
of oil.
Make a decent sandwich.
Decent amount of money selling mayonnaise that food court Jody's hanging out in.
2 gallons of vinegar, 8 gallons of water, fresh, 12 gallons of water, salt, and 1 gallon of wine.
Fistful of mayo. 1 silver. Step on up, folks.
We have people just come up and hold
They
don't bother bottling it or anything.
They come up with whatever they're eating. They're just like, here you go, just put a little bit on it for me.
I just talked about how cheap as hell jars are. You won't be able to take it from their hands.
I haven't washed my hands. You should reach in yourself.
Ooh, we should waterboard this bandit with the mayo. We'll
Whoa!
get the info out of him.
They jumped right into waterboarding.
It could go. You can make it pour out the liquid at 2 gallons per minute. So you can pour the whole 2 gallons of mayonnaise on it.
Mayonnaise bored him.
Over 1 minute. Just like
Where are the
2
red
gallons of
apples
mayo.
hiding?
In the orchard, bitch.
Do you want us to make you wait till tomorrow and put more mayonnaise in your face?
Gotta.
I can't reset this.
We can do it this easy way or the mayo way.
Once it starts, there's no stopping.
Everything cool, John?
New noise just dropped. I apparently the draw or washer was fucking up. Anyway, good times.
The
Well-
elephant was very interested in the jars I was
He
looking
seems
through.
he seems intrigued, and as he's kind of
I'm not showing off Urslot's jar.
I caught that before
I'm keeping that one on the
in the bag.
in the bag.
Yeah, he would look at them kind of curiously and would say, I'm not interested in purchasing them or anything, mind you. I'm just very curious where you came across these.
Well, my companions and I were traveling on the other side of the bay out east. I recall we found this dragon vault
Hmm.
sort of thing. I know we went inside of it.
To the east, you say. If I were to pay you 25 gold, would you be interested in marking it on my map? He pulls out a map of the coast.
I don't know. I think it would be dangerous to send someone out that way. It was
If you're not
a
interest-
well-guarded vault.
If you're not interested, he pulls the map away and starts.
I'd better not.
Well, I apologize.
I appreciate the offer.
I do apologize, but I'm very interested in finding out about these materials, so much to the point that I don't think I'd be able to engage in any interactions or business with you.
Oh, that's too bad.
I apologize.
All right. I guess I'll pack my things and go. You have a good day, F Shark.
Nods. Seems to be stroking his chin and kind of like with his trunk as you're leaving, and kind of like scratching the side of his face curiously as you leave.
Did I get my jars, or did he not sell me anything?
The
jars were premeditated.
I would say he would have sold the jars to you first. That's fine.
Okay, I'll get the pricing on jars. Lickety split.
And that would have been 47, to be sure. I'll look at the marker there. And then the pot and planter... Oh, sorry, the pot and planter was 47. And the rose and thorn was 44. So you would have kind of walked out this way.
Oh, I was way off. I thought it was the buildings to the left of the...
No worries. Yeah, I didn't mark them last time like a dum-dum. So.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah,
I just misunderstood.
It did seem like he had a good number of recipes available on offer.
Yeah.
It did seem like there was a lot kind of going on that could have been beneficial, but yeah. For some reason, he was a jerk about it.
Kinda.
It did seem like the second they came out, he was very interested in them, and then very disconcerted that you weren't willing to pass information about them.
Well, I didn't know all the information. I don't want to send some guy out there.
Oh, he's not going to go out there himself.
Well...
Get somebody else killed.
No deal.
All right. Ezekiel, into the armor.
Yeah.
Okay. When you enter into this space, it is quite nice. Like, compared to the place that's just technically next door, it's like night and day. It is great. It's got a multi-tiered kind of setup where it's, when you first walk in, on the left side, there's kind of like a walk-up that has like 7 sets of armor off on your left side. To the right of you, when you first enter in, there are 2 sets of armor. And then directly in front of you, there's a kind of a back door to like a, works or a backspace, and there's another set of armor kind of stand near that. Then there's a kind of store counter, and behind that store counter there is just a shit ton of weapons kind of hanging on the wall, and all behind the set of armor that you saw near the door, also just a bunch of weapons, all different types, all different styles, from all different nations in ENA. And standing behind the counter is a suit of armor, like it was the store clerk. It's not moving. It's on a stand. You can tell it's on a stand, but there's just a suit of armor where a store clerk should be.
Okay. Oh.
You hear this. You hear the suit of armor say as you enter in, "Welcome, welcome," and it's like echoey inside, like the voice is coming from inside the suit of armor. I'm in the back. I could come out if you really, really need me to, but for the time being, I'll just allow you to go ahead and look around. I'm assuming you don't want me to bother you as you take a gander, yeah?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, thanks.
I'll look around.
Yeah, there are some very nice sets of armor kind of on display here. Total of 10 armors that you can see. And the suit to the right is... they're all plate, by the way. So if you're not interested in plate armor, this isn't the place for you.
That is definitely what I'm interested in.
Okay, cool.
So I got a split armor, but the problem is I don't know if I have enough gold. So they got prices attached to them?
They don't. It definitely does look like they're just kind of just standing out and about, no prices. But the very first set that you passed by when you first entered in looked like it was made out of dragon scale. And sorry, that wasn't actually plate, that was scale. I apologize. The suit to the right of that is plate armor. It looks like it's just very ornate plate armor with motifs of kind of wind on it. Then there are the 7 sets up top, which are kind of all different stylings. You presume some are more potent than others. One looks like it's made out of made by dwarves. One looks like it is more kind of like jagged and blade-like. But the suit that's at the far or on the north side looks strange. It's the most awkward of the sets that you see here, in that it looks like it is a demon.
Oh, I'll definitely walk up for that one first.
Okay. Yeah, looking at it, it looks awesome. It's a suit of plate armor with like winged blades and like spikes and shit. It's a suit of demon armor.
Cool.
All right. If you need anything or if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And there are also some items out on the table which aren't in particularly armor, but they're stuff that I've made to aid with some things if you're interested. You would see a set of bracers, a set of boots, a helmet, and a crown.
Okay. I'll just while I'm looking at those, be like, I do enjoy looking around, but I don't see any prices on anything.
No, feel free to ask. Yeah, it's
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It's quite expensive though, so if you're not a successful adventurer, I do apologize. You're probably not going to find much on the floor that you're interested in. But I do have some weapons that might be in your budget. What is your budget?
Well, given what I just got from the blacksmith, I would say roughly about 300 gold.
Oh yeah, sorry. Most of my armors are going to be well beyond that. And again, this place is a very lucrative town. There are quite a few folks here who are interested in passing their currency along for simple favors. And if you're an adventuring type, as I presume, then that might be for you. Quick gold coin earned, bring it on back this way. But for 300, unfortunately, the only thing I can offer you is an ancient sword that I have here on the wall. Probably nothing that's any better than anything that you have. But if you do have some articles that that you've managed to find spelunking or whatever engagement of adventure you've been traveling on and doing, I'd be keen to take a look.
Yeah, I've got some things if you want to look at them.
Door opens, and out comes this Janaran man who's wearing like this kind of just tacky-looking bright yellow kilt, and it's like the full Scottish kilt. It's not like just the the skirt portion, and he's wearing a kind of like very baggy pirate style kind of like fluffy shirt underneath. On his head there is like a set of goggles, but they look like welding goggles. And he's got like kind of stashed in the belt and kind of waist of the kilt, like just a bunch of hammers and tools. And he just, door opens, he comes walking up, moves around the counter, and as he kind of moves there, you see the plate armor kind of slide off to the side into the corner space of the back of the kind of perch, the where he stands. And he comes there, I'm having trouble with words, stands there and kind of sets, like gestures up to the counter after rolling like a really nice looking kind of felt mat onto the table.
Gotcha.
Let's see what you got.
Okay. I'll lay out 7 of the daggers with the draconic word on it. That we got from those one guys.
The Night Blades.
Yeah.
Interesting enchantment. Very, very peculiar. I think I could probably find a buyer for this. I would be willing to give you 50 for each.
They're not doing me any good, so might as well.
Okay. Now we
What
have
do
you.
we have?
I think someone took one for themselves, and then
I
the
have one.
rest of them were put into Ezekiel's bag.
Yeah.
Didn't Nick take one?
Yeah, I think Nick's took one for himself, and I took the rest for
Oh,
myself.
that's right. Yeah, it was 9 total.
You have
Yeah, I had the
7.
other 7.
I'm holding one.
He would say, okay, so that
Uh,
is not. We'll finish the transactions in total, especially if you're looking in trade. I'd be more favorable to you if you are wanting to trade these for something I have already on offer.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I do have one other thing that I would like you to look at. He'll pull out that katana that he got from the gnome guy in the
Just
basement.
their ceremonial sword.
Yep.
Yeah, more of a collector's piece than functional use weapon.
Yeah, when I seen it, I just I haven't used it yet because I was afraid it's gonna break it with how pretty it looks.
And that's a sound fear, but definitely something members of our community might be interested in displaying in their homes. I'd be willing to give you 100 for this. And
Okay.
of course, these prices I'm saying I would double if you're looking for in trade.
Oh yeah, I'm a-okay with trade.
Okay. Anything else?
Out of character, I don't think I have anything else. I
Ask
think
her about Dragon Glass. Nobody in this fucking town wants to buy Dragon Glass.
I don't have any dragon glass on me.
It's got no leather, right?
The only thing I have else was I have the adamantite shield, but I want to keep that. So
Well,
that's all I got.
if that's it, then 700 plus 200, 900. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to help you with any of the sets of armor that I have, except for he kind of looks, and this is John double checking the price of the dragon scale.
Do you have any dog-shaped armor?
Dog-shaped armor. Well, most of my armor resizes to fit the wearer. And
Do you have
if
any
it,
armor shaped like a good boy?
oh no, the dragon scale wouldn't work for you. It's definitely outside of your price range. Yeah, unfortunately, the best I could probably do is offer you what's on the wall, and he gestures towards the weapons that are present there. But
How
not
high would he have to get the stuff he's interested in?
sure. The demon set of armor is 20,000. So
We're
is the
not getting that.
dragon scale armor. The suit of +1 is 2,500. That's probably the cheapest.
That's
Because plate by
almost doable.
yeah, plate by itself. I'm double checking my notes or double checking the book here. Plate armor.
It's a 1500.
Yeah. So no, sorry, it'd be 2,000 for the suit of +1.
But he's pretty close. And we can.
800 more.
He's at 900 right now.
I mean, I'm not.
12.
Well, 1,200 with his money.
Could easily raise the rest in puns. I know it.
It's
Well, I'll look at the weapons.
Okay. So he has like a number of different
You also
weapons.
rob him.
A number of different weapons on display. So what this
That's my mind
is?
with this elephant fella.
This is a random shop, so the stuff on my side is going to basically just be like I'm going to tell you as it's displayed. But if you're looking for something specific, like in the book, that's either uncommon, rare, or very rare, you can go ahead and roll a D100. If you're looking for an uncommon magic item, there's a 75% chance it's here. If you're looking for a rare magic item, there's a 50% chance it's here. If you're looking for a very rare magic item, it's a 10% chance it's here. He does not have anything that is not armor or weapon.
+1 stud.
Oh no, sorry. He does not have anything that's weapon. Sorry for the wall. The armor is preset.
dragon's
Gotcha.
sword.
I wasn't really looking for anything specific. He did mention an ancient sword earlier.
The ancient sword's a common magic item that says it's a +1 sword, but if you roll a 1, it breaks.
Okay, gotcha. Bad. That's not good for me. My rolls are pretty bad.
Yeah, when you were saying you had 200 something gold, he would have sold that to you for 250.
Gotcha.
You could appraise your Dragon Slayer.
I do have whatever great sword that what's his name didn't take. Or no, did you take it? Silas. It was the giant slayer that
No,
Silas
I
took.
have a giant slayer. I don't have a dragon slayer.
Did we get a dragon slayer sword?
Yes, I stole it and you were carrying it.
Oh, the one that's kind of broken a little bit, ain't it? Because I haven't
It's not
repaired
the
it.
best, but yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll show that too.
Ooh, interesting. It's a little bit rough around the edges, but I can get that hammered out from my associate. Offering on trade. Yes. I would give you 800.
All
Maybe
right.
750 for half on
Yeah.
a rare magic item, but he rounded up because he's a nice guy.
I like that guy. Yeah, that's understandable. So
And
that
that-
makes my total.
Well, that would be in trade. Sorry, 800 in trade, 400 in sale.
Yeah. No, I'm adding up the total for trade.
Okay, 2,000 is your current.
You
for
have
trade.
about 2,000
Okay.
if you throw all your cash in.
Gotcha. Okay. So that brings me up to a total of 2,000.
Yep, and he has a suit of +1 plate armor. He will sell you for 2,000.
I think that's I think that's what I'll go with.
Okay. Deal's a deal.
Yeah.
You work out the trade, and he gets the set to you, resized. It's a very ornate looking set. It looks like it was kind of crafted in the conglomerate style of the kind of arcane warriors that were present, in the last 100 or 200 years.
Perfect.
Centuries. Okay. Great. So he just sold all of your shit.
Wasn't mine.
Was that including my gold, or that was just trade? That's just like
You
the
had-
stuff I had to trade.
It took your
yes.
currency plus
It took your gold plus the trade to do it.
Okay. That's what I want to make sure, because I was going to mark it off. I wasn't sure. So I have 48 gold left.
Okay. So, Silas, studying the Moffat bread and learning how it works, getting information on that, and then we'll end it with, because there's about 10 minutes left. And again, I apologize for the
Hey, good.
me disappearing.
Whatever.
Again, anyway,
Shit happens.
I had to pee, not shit. I've shit before game.
It happens.
Yeah, Uther and Rolling Rock. You have a guy that's unconscious. I see that Steve's currently away. That's fine.
He mentioned he was dipping out.
No worries. I understand, baby. But Uther, you'll be making a stealth check. You're trying to move this guy around town without anybody noticing it.
I don't know if I was told that, but yeah, man.
That's
17.
That's what you would be told by Rolling Rock. And Rolling Rock does not have stealth, but he will make it. You have stealth trained, right?
Yes.
So he will
super
add
proficient.
half of your proficiency bonus to it.
Couldn't it be deception? You're making somebody appear drunk when they're unconscious? You're weakened at Bernie's then?
I'll be honest. If that plan is mentioned to Uther, I don't think Uther would think it's a good idea. Because it still is going to create a scene. So, I mean, if we want to go ahead and do that, I'll go ahead and make a deception roll.
No, you said they'd pass.
But I was going to say,
You've never seen the movie.
Rolling Rock's deception is 0, and his stealth is 2. So
My deception's also 0, and my stealth's
Wow.
11.
he's not counting his heavy armor for this. It's not him being loud or anything. So the 14 is sufficient. The two of you manage to go through the remainder of the day, moving about the area, and he's unconscious for a little while, but will be well on his way to not being unconscious before you're supposed to meet up. So, yeah, and he's out with the baby. Is there anything else? Huh?
I'd knock his ass back out.
Okay, well, obviously it's going to create a trauma effect, and you don't want to keep a person unconscious for too long because it actually is a problem. But yeah,
I'm not a doctor.
What I'm trying to say is I understand. I'm going to move to everyone else just as a group that's not Uther or Rolling Rock. Is there anything you folks want to do before we kind of cut for the day?
I'm kicking rocks out in the street because that elephant threw me out of his shop. And I guess I'm gonna wander around and see who the hell will buy dragon glass in this damn city.
Okay, so just get you to the quickest of points. The person who will buy dragon glass in the city is the blacksmith.
Fuck. Alright, I'm gonna head that way, and that's
Well,
me for the day.
All the places you don't want glass.
And did I give you? Hold on. Did I give you a handout on dragon glass, or did I not?
I think you did.
I'm gonna check. Do, 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 do.
Here, I see it.
Okay, how many pounds of it did you get?
Steve has that information. He gave it to me to sell.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do here
We'll
is
save it for next session or
Absolutely.
after session. Yeah.
well, okay.
I'm just saying that's my intention is to go there and do this.
This-
You don't have to do it right now.
This session has just been on. I'm sorry, you guys.
I've had a great time.
Okay, good. As long as everyone's been having fun, I just feel like, man.
I've been memeing.
It's been
Hey,
great.
Jerry
I
has
got
a
a
game
good
and
set of armor.
hard.
Okay, as long as it was fun. But next session, we will pick up with A, dragon glass selling, getting that out of the way, and then B, not knocking the guy unconscious for an entire day and having a conversation with him direct and determining what you want to do with him. Because, again, just walking around with him and keeping him unconscious and acting like he's drunk is not a plan. That's not a plan because it's hours out from when you guys said you were going to meet up again. All right. Thanks for watching
That's
this.
in the ocean.
That did. That's a good way to go. And we'll pick up next session with that. Thanks.